could well prove to be a turning point for the future of the grand old party. We'll continue to track all the latest. For now, let's shift our focus over to other international stories as the U.S. President Donald Trump has continued to be skeptical about a trade deal with China. Trump has now said that he's not ready to make a deal with China. However, he also said that things were going happens. Trump hit out at China, saying that it was facing its worst year in 35 years and hence was manipulating its currency to pour money into its system. He reiterated that the cards were on his table and he will see if the September meeting happens. Let's listen into what Donald Trump had to say.
So China wants to settle this deal. They've had the worst year that they've had in many, many decades. And it's getting only worse. Thousands of companies are leaving China. They would like to make a deal. I'm not ready to make a deal.
But are you willing to cancel the talks next month?
Maybe. We'll see what happens. Right now, the talks are scheduled in September. Whether or not we're talking about China, whether or not they're canceled, we'll see.
The U.S. President has also decided that the government will no longer be dealing with Chinese telecom giant Huawei. Trump's decision came after China halted buying U.S. agricultural products in retaliation to
We're not going to do business with Huawei. We're not doing business with them. And I really made the decision. It's much simpler not to do any business with Huawei. So we're not doing business with Huawei. That doesn't mean we won't agree to something if and when we make a trade deal. But we're not going to be doing business with Huawei.
Meanwhile, the International Monetary Fund has asked the world's two largest economies to resolve their trade tensions quickly. The executive director of China at the IMF said that the countries need to reform the WTO in a good faith. He said that this would not only benefit both the countries, it will also benefit the international community as a whole. A report by the IMF has flagged that the U.S. tariffs are threatening China's economy. And if the tariffs go up further, China's growth will be cut sharply. This report was completed before Trump announced fresh tariffs last week. The IMF had already trimmed its growth forecast for China to impose this year. In other major international developments, North Korea has done it again. It has fired 2 unidentified projectiles, and this is the country's 5th such launch in the last fortnight. A statement from South Korea's Joint Chief of Staff said that the projectiles were launched from the Hamhung area of North Korea in the east of sea. The South Korean military is monitoring the situation in case of additional launches. The previous 4 launches were overseen by the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un himself, and they were believed to be short-range missiles. North Korea has conducted several tests even after it agreed to revive denuclearization talks with U.S. in June this year. But amid these missile tests, the U.S. President Donald Trump continues to side with Chairman Kim over U.S.-South Korean war games. Trump said that he had received a quote-unquote very beautiful letter from Kim in which he expressed Pyongyang's anger over the joint war games. The meeting with Kim but did not reveal a date.
Yeah, he gave me a great letter. I would love to give you, but I don't know. I don't think it would be appropriate. But it was a very personal letter. It was a great letter. He talked about what he's doing. He's not happy with the testing. It's a very small testing that we did, but he wasn't happy with the testing. He put that in the letter. But he also sees a great future for North Korea. And so we'll see how it all works out. In the meantime, I say it again, there have been no nuclear tests. The missile tests have all been short-range, no ballistic missile tests, no long-range missiles. I think we'll have another meeting. He really wrote a beautiful 3-page, right from top to bottom, a really beautiful letter. And maybe I'll release the results of the letter, but it was a very positive.
The defense exercises between U.S. and South Korea had spurred the series of missile tests by North. The exercises were a flagrant violation of the diplomatic process between Pyongyang, Washington and Seoul. Trump said he wasn't happy with the war games either because he did not like paying South Korea for it. The tests by North Korea have also come at a time when the U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper met South Korean leaders in Seoul yesterday. The two sides discussed the trade row between Japan and South Korea, as well as security situation on the Korean Peninsula. Esper reiterated that U.S. continues to be open to talks with Pyongyang. He also said that the U.S. South Korean allies will continue to coordinate on North Korea.